I'm from the community. I've been here since 1988. So I've seen every transition in which law enforcement used to be oppressive, targeting certain people. And at the younger age, we don't really know how to identify with law enforcement because we were seeing the riots, we were seeing people, the white officers are usually chasing people or targeting people of color. So that was always kind of the stigma. But even when the world has changed and other forms of crime were able to kind of emerge, the constant is constant perception of some of the people in the community were that law enforcement was targeting people of color. For a long period of time, that used to be the consensus. The problem is now is that certain types of crime happen and it doesn't really get regulated as much as blue collar crime. So because there's a high level of people engaging in like low level crime and it gets treated with the highest level of offense, just by circumstances, I don't have value-based assertion. It's just based on how it's presented. People feel that they're being persecuted and targeted. And my observations are different because I look at things on a case-by-case basis. The problem is that the common depiction would be an authoritative figure versus a lower class poor person who is being killed, and that obviously creates sentiment. However, it's in Los, and particularly at the park, where social change is actually happening because you got people who look like people from the community that are actually engaging with people, which is very rare to have a dialogue with a police officer without asking you where you're from, who you're connected to, where is your house. And that's a complete and utter change or digression from what it used to be like. So even if there's digression being done specifically where we live at, it's not like that the rest of the country. And because there's minimal engagement, there's a disconnection between the community and law enforcement. And that would probably be it because there's certain levels of crime that do exist that doesn't get, doesn't attract as much attention as other forms of crime, but the people in that community somehow feel that they're being persecuted. And that's the biggest reason as to why there's a huge disconnection. Because even if you make progression in some ends, it's not making progression in all ends. And it's either policy or lack of resources that exist as to why these issues continually exist and these crimes do not disappear.